Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your Devops SRE DevSecOps coach. So now, third and the most important part of the functions of SRE team is incident management, being on call and doing the postmortem. So that's something which we have. So as part of being on call and postmortem, the first thing you need to have a very effective monitoring system and very effective alerting system. Typically nowadays we do not call monitoring. Nowadays we call it observability, and that is something which I will discuss in upcoming sessions. What is observability and how it is different from monitoring? But yeah, we need to have a very effective monitoring and alerting systems in place if you want to be on call and doing the postmortems and things like that. So yeah, part of the team strength you are going to spend on the on call and then uh, alerting system, maintaining the RCS and postmortem and things like that. So yeah, you need to be on call based on the alerts which is set uh, as per the SLOs. Uh, the moment you are on call, you need to acknowledge alerts, and then you have to start begin investigations. You need to also come up with the response time, like how much it is critical for the business, and based on that you can decide the response time. Maybe if it is a business critical within a 5 minutes, urgent within a 30 minutes or something like that. And what happens, like those people who's having who's on call, they need to do the greater commitment actually, because uh, many times they missed from the social engagement, sometime odd hours working like late night and all, and lots of stress are there, because if you are on call for multiple days and time and odd hours and things like that. So yeah, you need to control, coordinate and communicate within a team. So we need to set up a team actually, who should be a part of on call, and also we need to define each and every members and their responsibility. So most of the time, what when we design the on-call mechanism, typically we decide, okay, there's one IC, we call it incident commander. Then there's a communication lead CL, and ops lead OL, and followed by you have a dev team and SRE team. They'll be supporting if they need to be on call. So I mean, we need to decide that everyone's responsibility, and accordingly we'll have to take it up. Now, if you are on call, you need to identify whether it is an incident or not. This is a very important work which you need to perform as SRE. So most of the time, there is a certain templates which we follow, we create, and then we decide whether it's incident or not. Alerting has to be in depth and covered all part of your site applications. You need to also come up with the standard response. If let's say there's a one incident, what kind of response you want to uh, reach out to the team or someone else. Same time, you need to have one playbook. So playbook, sometime also we call it run book. Okay, depends on the different organizations. We call it a playbook or run book or notebook, whatever you want to call it. This document contains, let's say if you have a certain kind of issues, and in those issues what we are supposed to do. I mean, on call engineers, what they're supposed to do. So that's something kind of basic sanities, basic check, basic information gathering. He should do that, and then he should be ready with those stuff. So, and then whether you should decide also the template for whether it should be incident or not incident. Also, incident, while handling with incident, uh, lots of uh, knowledge which is from gain from the past, which matters a lot. So make sure that the person who's on call, he's having the good experience working with the projects, handling the issues and all, and stuff like that. And also you're going to set criteria for investigation time and impact and everything, P1, P2, P3, P4 and all. So yeah, if you want to start working on and transforming the SRE, you need to appoint IC, then followed by OL, continuous investigations, then commander lead appointed, then once the incident doc is issued, then OL adds more investigators and they also update the documents, and that is how you bring to the things. And this all peoples work together as a team to investigate. So again, these are the one of the sample model which I'm presenting. Some of the stuff may change depends on the organization's uh, policies and practices what they've been following. Okay, so yeah, so now once you have an incident a document ready, uh, you need to come up with the postmortems. Sometime you call it a postmortem, sometime you call it a RCA, root cause analysis, depends on what organizations you are. So you need to come up with a postmortem. Now let me tell you here, if you are using some of the tools like let's say Jira from Atlassian, Service Desk, or ServiceNow or something like that, these tools, they have a complete SRE enabled templates. That means what are the fields you should be having as part of incident document. You just no need to design the whole system, but just be aware of it. And then postmortem documents also, they have a very good template. Nowadays, most of the observability tools, they're coming up with these features inbuilt actually, so you don't need to come out of it. So accordingly, you can decide. So working on incident effectively. So how do we start working on incident? And so you can come up with a postmortem report effectively. So the first thing what you have to do the moment there is one incident got opened, you need to triage. Triage is something like you need to try to get to the most last working condition as sub. That is the first thing we should do, and then followed by you start examining, diagnosed, test and cure. So yeah, these are the incident model typically we follow, um, and all. So triage, that means get back to good enough as sub. Remediations tactics, add compute power, reroute traffic, downgrade service, and the output is stable system. Now examine, that's a second model which you have to do. Once you have a triage and your system is stable, you can get into the examinations. You can understand the problem, identifying the trigger. There's so many tools you will find out, which I'll teach you in this session, which will help you in terms of matrices and dashboard, centralized logging, mini graphs, tracing and all. So like some of the tools which I'm going to teach you, I think if you have gone through the agenda, Neuralink, Prometheus, Grafana, AppDynamics, Dynatrace, many tools we have as part of these sessions, which I'm going to cover this. Next phase is examine. So after examine, after trials, you have to examine and understand the problem and identifying the triggers. Next one is a diagnose. So find the possible cause, and which includes lots of analysis tools you may have, vertical path through systems, what is it doing, why is not doing what it should, where are resources going, where did it start, and all these things. And then output of diagnose should be shortlisted the potential cause which you should have it. And then after that you have to test, identify the probable cause, and testing tactics which includes manually recreate the workflows. Probably you can curl web page, web apps and APIs, connect and verify permissions, trace database call, network routes, document everything, and output confidence in the actual cause. And then finally you have to find out the cure. Cure for fix the problem, document the solution, output fully working system or mitigated system or with a known fix OR, and mitigations with monitoring requirements. So these are the phases which you need to do while working with the incident. Again, triage, examine, diagnose, test, and cure. Okay, so once you have worked with the incident and then you got it post-mortem, so now you have time to produce and publishing the post-mortem. So yeah, post-mortem document must have post-mortem goals, which document the incident and resolution, identifying the root cause and fix, which also is drafted by SRE, reviewed and published. Publishing process you need to create, make sure that whatever the RCA you are submitting, that is approved by everyone, and you should always work with a continuous improvement. Now uh, I must specify this with little more, you know, uh, better ways. Like this postmortem document should be blame free. That means we are not going to blame anyone, saying that because of someone's individuals this has caused something. It should be team effort, neutral and constructive. This is the some of the formats of the postmortem documents, though SRE also, I mean, Google also has published lots of template actually. If you want to search on the Google SRE Google templates, hundreds of templates you will get it for various things, including postmortem, incident, and RCA and everything. But yeah, because I'm not focusing too much because on this, because nowadays the tool itself has been introduced by the organizations like Jira and many other, which has a great template. You don't need to do anything, just follow the template and good do that stuff. Okay, so yeah, postmortems are expensive, writing and review taking time. Promote huge postmortem of the month, reading clubs, group review sessions, and many other stuff which you can do that. So this is something. Now, uh, while also working with the postmortem, you should also avoid the operational overhead. Some of the activities like, you know, uh, which you think is consuming your team's time, you should identify and then try to, uh, you know, work it out. You should also keep a very open thread with the engineering team and seek their suggestions to, you know, mitigate lots of issues which you may not have idea, but if you work with the team you will get a good pictures about it. Okay, so this is something which we have to come up with. So now guys, did you understand what exactly the SRE and what we are supposed to do, all of you? Okay, so what we discussed about what is SRE. We discuss about how SRE is different from ops. We discuss about how SRE is different from DevOps. We also discuss about the function of SRE. We discuss about the roles of SRE, responsibility of SRE. We discuss about if you want to transform from ops to SRE, what are the three primary things which you need to do. There are so many other stuff also we have, but three primary things we have to do. And one is like toil management. Second one is service level management. Third one is postmortem, incident and postmortem management. Yeah. So there is one question which we have in the chat. What is the difference between RCA and postmortem? So RCA is a part of postmortem. So there is one incident which has opened, and now you need to find out uh, the impact, the losses, the root cause, and cure. Basically, if you remember that five stages of incident management, which includes, let me show you one more time: triage, examine, diagnose, test, and cure. So RC, we call it root cause analysis, where you try to find out why this incident is an incident. What was the root cause for it? So you are going to examine it and then suggest accordingly uh, to the team and submit a postmortem document. So postmortem document, one part of content is RCA. Make sense? So coming back to the three functions, one is toil management. Um, you need to identify a toil. Once you identify, you need to also prioritize this. I mean, measure this, whether how much time it required to, uh, fix the toil. And also, while working with the toil, you need to bring the engineering approach. That means you have to have a coding mindset, the one which I said earlier also. You need to have an engineering approach while working with the toil. You need to identify, you need to measure, and then you need to prioritize and then work on it. Okay. So these are the models which uh, I discussed earlier. Same time, you should have a very comprehensive uh, monitoring in place so you can get SLI, service level management, which include SLI. So you have SLIs, and then you may have agreement with SLAs with the customers also. And then based on that SLI and SLA, you are going to come up with the SLO. Now, I must remind you, whatever you set up SLO for your team, be realistic, because depends on what you set up SLO, you will have a workaround time for error budgeting. So this is a very critical process. You need to have historical knowledge of the system and referring the SLI, then only you set up SLO. Okay, so there's one more question which we have. Uh, what about SRE role at organization that do not have dev squad because the scope of the service with the customers? They simply use more time at automation and ops related tasks. Maybe they can work with the customer's dev team. Uh, now, uh, probably I'm not be able to comment on the project specific scenarios, but here when we try to implement the SRE, which is recommended by Google and many other organizations, we want the SRE team to be collaborating very closely with the development team. Let's say because of certain reason within an organization, if now they are not able to collaborate, so that means this is not SRE at all, because still you are not able to uh, you know coordinate and integrate well for upcoming releases or for supporting the incident. I mean, to resolving the incident much faster, because you may not be able to fix the problems immediately on the incident without dev support. So you need their help during support, right? You need their ways, their method in which you can run the sanity and validate whether it's working fine or not in your production. And also they need you, so you can plan much in advance in terms of, let's say, they will share the language platform, operating system dependencies, libraries and all, and you'll be prepared for it. So that is what I feel, um, like that. So there's one more question. So the postmortem is considered the whole process and RC is a part of it. Yeah, sort of it. Yeah. Yeah. The third thing, which is the important function of SRE, is incident management, which I discussed multiple times again, and so on. Now I must tell you here, apart from that, there are many other systems which has to be in place. And one of the areas which we have is security, which I'm not discussing right now, because again the security discussions may get into the different directions altogether. That is called DevSecOps. If you know that, uh, uh, little bit of it, that's called DevSecOps. So now you know what, I just want to cover that part also for 5 or 10 minutes, so that way you have a complete perspective. Because last day we discussed about the DevOps, today we discuss about the SRE, and then followed by we should have a little bit of knowledge on the DevSecOps also. So for that, let me just open up some of my slides, because if I say and if I display, there'll be difference. And just I want to show you only one slides, not much. Here it is. So DevSecOps is being popular from last couple of months, couple of years actually, and Buzz is being created. So basically, um, SRE and DevOps, you know the difference. But let's say you have implemented the DevOps successfully, then only you should talk about the DevSecOps. I repeat, the criteria for implementing dev DevSecOps is to implement first DevOps and then bring the security. So the idea of DevSecOps is to make security responsibility with everyone. Yes, that is the idea. So earlier, if you remember, we had this ownership with the certain teams. End of the functional testing, some teams probably they will run some sanity or some sort of test, and they will say whether this software is secure or not. But DevSecOps concept is saying no, you should not do that. You should do the security at every stage, and everyone who's responsible for implementing the software or DevOps team, you can call it, should be equally responsible for it, and they all should be coordinating. For example, let's say if you're an architect, so what can you do with the security stuff? So if you're planning or architect, you can start designing the threat models. We have many threat models. One of this threat model is very popular from Microsoft, like Stride, right? Many other models are there. And then also you can decide the coding standard for the developers. Now, during the coding, you should do the static code analysis. During the building, you should do the vulnerability scans. During the testing, you should do the penetration testing. These all are security related stuff. During release, you should do the compliance validations. During deployment, you should do the code signing and validations. During operate and monitoring, you should monitor, detect, respond, and recover. So yes, these all things which is added responsibility to the DevSecOps team, and that's a new concept which is coming up if you have implemented the DevOps successfully. Now coming back to the context of SRE with security. So if you see that the last three part you have to take care of it: to deploy, operate, and monitor. These are the things you have to take care of it as a SRE team, and make sure that your infrastructure is not only stable and reliable but secured also. So that's one of the important part for the SRE, which I did not highlight much, uh, but yeah, it should be a part of it. So guys, any questions, any doubts?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.